Some of our best memories as a family have been around road trips, especially the drives to and from California. Each time we would take a week and meander through Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, and Sedona. Oh, Sedona. It would be hours in the car each day, but hands down some of the best times as a family we've ever had. The first time we did the drive was when we were moving to Los Angeles. Our middle guy was 8 years old, and he was in this phase where the entire time we were in the car, he was insisting we played a game he called What Would You Rather? And he would just fire question after question of what would you rather at Marisol and me. It was relentless. It's like, Mom, Dad, what would you rather? Would you rather be stung by 1,000 hornets or surrounded by 3 anacondas? And then we were supposed to like choose and explain and defend our choice, what we would rather. Mom, Dad, what would you rather? Be stranded forever on a deserted island or forever trapped in a cage at the zoo? Mom, Dad, what would you rather? Be eaten by a great white shark or a lion? Mom, Dad, what would you rather? Be stung by a box jellyfish or fall off the CN Tower? Hours and hours and hours of what would you rather. That's normal, right? But here's the thing. Although most of us don't get to choose how we die, lion or anaconda, in that equation, lion is always going to be the right answer, right? Although most of us don't get to choose how we die, all of us have a choice. All of us have agency in how we live. So we've been talking for the last several weeks about radical HVUC, the practices and the habits, the life that we live as a church to give a correct estimate and opinion of who Christ is to the world. We've been exploring the essential or radical ways Humber Valley is to embody the way of Jesus in and for our community. So we create space for kids. We have courageous conversations. We care for those Jesus calls the least of these. We proclaim God's dream of love and peace for the world. We baptize. And last week we talked about, of course, we do communion. Because it's not just a liturgical add-on, but a subversive economic alternative where we refuse to accept a world of haves and have-nots. But everyone is invited into the space where there's always enough to go around. And this morning, I want us to take another step forward in this, our radical identity, and talk about that part of the worship gathering known as the passing of the peace. Do you remember that? We haven't been doing it in our virtual gatherings, but when we get back in person, it will be a regular weekly part of worship. You know what I mean by passing of the peace, right? It's that part of Sunday worship where you like walk around the room greeting people with a hug or a handshake or a smile, or in flu season, like the peace symbol. And you look them in the eye and you say, peace be with you. It's also the time, by the way, where we get to discover who the introverts and who the extroverts are. Because for some, it's like the best part of the worship gathering ever, and for others, it's absolutely dreaded. But for all of us, introvert or extrovert, it is important. In fact, I would say it's radical. Now, Nancy just read for us Jesus' words from John 14, where Jesus says to his disciples, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." They're powerful words, right? And what makes them even more powerful is the when of Jesus speaking them, when he speaks them, the context. It's not long after he's predicted that Peter, like the number 2 guy in the organization, is going to betray Jesus. So fair to say, everyone in Jesus' orbit is feeling a bit disoriented, a bit unsettled, and maybe vulnerable about life. Probably like most of us on any given day, Jesus' disciples are trying to figure out who they are, where they're going, what their life is about. They're feeling vulnerable, they're feeling disoriented, they're feeling confused. They've spent the better part of the last years following Jesus, committed to this Christ vision. Now, all of a sudden, Jesus hints that it's going to start coming undone. Betrayal, death, denial. So Jesus says, my peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. I think the essence of what Jesus is teaching here is that when life feels confusing or overwhelming or maybe disappointing, when it feels like everything is shifting way too fast, remember who you are. Remember who we are. We are peace to you, people. Now we know that Jesus was Jewish. So peace in the Hebrew sense is not simply the absence of conflict. Peace is the Hebrew concept of shalom, or well-being within our relationships. It's a well-being within ourselves, a well-being with the earth, it's a well-being with others. And Jesus gives us divine peace or divine shalom. Jesus leaves us and trusts us with a vision for well-being. Why? Well, he explains that he doesn't give to us as the world gives. Like, he doesn't give us peace in order that we would hoard it, control it, dominate it, commodify it. No, Jesus offers peace that we might share it, unleash it, and give it away. My peace I give you, Jesus says. Do you remember a while back we talked about the Abrahamic Covenant? In Genesis 12, God makes this agreement with a guy named Abram, where God says, like, go, leave everything you know, like live in this radical new paradigm. And then God explains why he's asking this of Abram. He says, I'm going to bless you so that you might bless others. God says this to Abraham, I'm going to bless you so that you might bless others. It wasn't that God wanted Abram to have more blessing or be luckier than anyone else. The opposite. God says, I bless you so that you can give that blessing away and bless others. Jesus leaves divine peace with us as disciples. Not so we can be the most peaceful Zen people in the world, but rather that shalom and well-being might extend through our lives, beyond our lives, into all of creation, into all of the world. That's what passing of the peace is supposed to be about. It's not just tormenting our introverted friends. It's very literally speaking Christ's peace, speaking life's well-being into the lives of others. It's like, as so much of our world is constantly telling us to be more anxious because we don't have all the answers, to be more envious because we don't have all the stuff, to be more apathetic because poverty isn't my concern, be self-conscious because your body doesn't look like theirs, be embarrassed because you haven't achieved everything you said you would, be ashamed because you did that thing you don't want anyone else to know about. And Jesus says, no, that's not it. That's not life. That's not the place I want you to live from. Your peace to you, people. Jesus speaks peace, gives peace, that we might in turn give it away, share it. Shalom, well-being. One of the most radical things we can do as the body of Christ, in order to give a correct estimate and opinion of who God is, one of the most radical things we can do is speak peace and goodness and well-being to others. Peace be with you. Have you ever heard of Dr. Masaru Emoto? Dr. Masaru Emoto. He died in 2014, but was a Japanese researcher and artist who explored ideas of consciousness on the molecular level. What does that mean? Well, what he would do is he would take water, everyday water, and he would expose the water, maybe by writing on its container or speaking to the water. He would expose the water to words like love, compassion, beauty, kindness, as well as words like hate and stupid and Hitler. And then using a microscope, he would photograph the water molecules. And time after time, the ones exposed to like love, compassion, and kindness form these beautiful snowflake-looking crystals. But the ones exposed to like stupid and hate and Hitler took on this almost formless disaster. And what he repeatedly showed is that water molecules literally responded and changed form based on the kind of words they were exposed to. Dr. Masaru Emoto, if you go to YouTube and search Japanese water experiment, it'll pop up. He had Buddhist monks come and bless water, and then he had other water that was sworn at. The molecular forms were radically different. Emoto demonstrated that water molecules actually respond and formed around the energy of the words they were exposed to. The physical molecular structure of water changes in relation to what's spoken to it. And this would probably be the moment of the morning where I remind you that the average human adult body is made up of 60% water. Why do we take time every week to look each other in the eye and speak peace to you? Because what we say, how we say it, the words we speak to each other literally changes the world. For the record, this is why I still hold on to saying grace and blessing a meal. Because the words we speak literally change the world. I am going to guess there's probably some skeptics on this one, and I'm prepared for that. Some of you are probably thinking, Brisbin, like you're losing it. So fair, that's fair, I get it. But what if this summer you did an experiment? You do it with the kids, you could do it with the grandkids, or do it for yourself. But if you want to see the physical impact of the spoken word, really easy way to do that is grab 3 jars. Fill them like this is 2 cups. I put 2 cups of rice and 2 cups of water in each one. You want each jar to be exactly the same, keep it in the same kind of location. And on one, write bless you. And then speak blessing to this jar of rice every day, like you're so beautiful, I love you. Just get like crazy loving on your rice, okay? So every day, you got to do every day for 6 weeks, just be blessing to this rice. Take another jar, exact same amount of rice, exact same amount of water, and ignore it. Just put it out of the way for a while and just don't say anything to it. Ignore it for the 6 weeks. And then take a 3rd jar, and on this one I've written, I hate you. And this is like you get to be as mean as you want to be to rice, right? And just say, you're stupid, I hate you, you're ugly, and speak that to the rice every day for 6 weeks. See what happens. Compare the look, the smell, even the texture of the rice after 6 weeks. What do you think is going to happen? This is why that childhood defense mechanism of sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me sounds so good. But we all actually know how much names and insults actually do hurt. What's spoken to others, what we hear, is so powerful, it physically changes us on a molecular level, the most basic level. And I think we know this. I think this is part of our Christian tradition, right? This is what the Christmas story on one level is all about, right? John chapter 1, verse 14, the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. The Word became flesh and dwelt amongst us. The Christian story is born out of this reality that words become flesh. Words are never just abstract sounds, but take a form in the real physical world. Like, it matters what we say. It matters how we say it, because words take form. Words create goodness and life and well-being, or they can take those very things away. My peace I leave you. My peace I give you. The radical move of speaking well-being to others. So what does this mean for us? Well, maybe ask yourself, where are the environments, which are the relationships in my life that generate peace and well-being? Where are the relationships that embody the peace of Christ for me? Because there's entire industries built around the sole purpose of telling you that you won't be well, that you can't be at peace until you have more, buy more, weigh less, own that car, use that makeup, experience that sex, or subscribe to that service. And into this anxiety-inducing, never satisfied world, Jesus speaks, my peace, I've already left it for you. My peace, it's already yours to have. You don't have to earn it, achieve it, buy it, or consume it. God's vision for you has only ever been well-being. Who do you know that speaks that divine vision to you regularly? Who speaks words of peace into your life? Where does God's shalom meet your physical lived reality? Who are the people that create spaces of peace for you? Who are the people that when you talk to them, you walk away feeling more whole, more human, more alive, not more anxious or insignificant or like you need to impress them? I'm not saying that you only need to be around people who only say what you want to hear or say flattering things to you. That's not it either. But who are the people that speak words that become the soil for the best of us to emerge? And then there's an activist call in this for us. Because if Christ has entrusted us with his peace in order that we might give it away, where are the places, who are the people you can speak the kind of peace and well-being that bring physical, relational change? If we are peace to you people, it means that how we speak to our colleagues on Zoom matters. It means how we talk to and coach our employees, how we interact with our clients has to be different. Because yes, we're there to do business. Yes, we're there to make money. But before anything else, our God-given mandate is to speak peace and well-being and life wherever we can. If we are peace to you people, it means how we speak to our partner matters. It means that the goal isn't to win the argument or keep a tally of who's done what, but to speak mutuality and well-being for the other. If we are peace to you people, it means our parenting is different. Like, do coercive threats and yelling and frustration really foster peace and well-being in our kids? Our kids need us to tell them who they are, not who they're not. How we talk to our barista, our parents, our Uber driver, our social media contacts matters. The words that are spoken in this world literally shape and form it. Peace to you people. We are the people who know that words always become flesh. We are people that know the physical impact of those words can be something beautiful or something destructive. So friends, may we choose words that bring life, bring love, bring kindness, and bring peace. The peace of Christ be with you.